Welcome to the third episode of Tips to Teach. I am Mrs. Jefferson, and I have been an educator for nearly 30 years. I want to share what I have learned and how I dissected this massive responsibility of teaching. Today's management strategy was inspired by my husband. I'm an early bird, so most days I would arrive at school at least an hour before the day started. While I was prepping for the day and getting items passed out for my first class, I would play an instrumental CD my husband made for me. It would chill me out and just put my mind in a positive space where I could get into the flow of the day. I taught middle school students for most of my career. The last 4 years, I started playing chill, grooving music at various times of the day. Nowadays, it may be referred to as lo-fi music. It was just one of those moments. I knew that it could be a way to settle students into working independently. My kids loved music and dancing, so it was a means to corral some cooperation and contemplation. Once students were settled and working, I would put on my homemade CD on a low volume, just loud enough for all to hear, but not too loud as to distract. It was amazing. From then on, students were excited to get down to work if they knew the music would play. The following week, my boys could be heard, "Mrs. Jeff, can we listen to that music with no words?" All I could do is smile and nod my head. Remember this during the last few weeks before the winter break, spring break, and even the last week of school, when it is most difficult to hold student attention. These are times when students have high energy and have a hard time focusing. Their little bodies and teen bodies would just be filled with excitement of impending happiness. For instance, 2 weeks before the holiday break, I would play holiday instrumentals, usually right after they returned from lunch recess to get them settled in for silent reading and to complete the rest of the afternoon. I would even have it playing as they were walking into the class. It was like a bell going off to signal, "This is independent reading time." I would avoid playing music during the morning to noon classes as it wasn't needed. Kids were pretty much on task. I also remembered that not all students want to work with music, so it was not scheduled and it did not become a normal everyday occurrence. There are so many great instrumental songs that never get heard. Meet your students somewhere in the middle. I included classical, jazz, country, and R&B instrumentals. I would avoid genres that would go against the vibe I was trying to create. It should be relaxing, but not too lively that it's distracting, and not too boring that they fall asleep. The kids will appreciate it. It helps them concentrate and feel good, and the atmosphere it creates is amazing. Music does heal. Thank you for listening.